Hey everyone, this is Ryan with Seneca Woodworking, and today I want to give you a behind-the-scenes look at our product development process. We attend a lot of trade shows, and we talk to a lot of people who give us ideas for products, and by far the most popular one we've received in the last year is for our own version of bench dogs. There are a lot of companies out there that are making different versions, different variations of dogs for the MFT table. And as a company, I don't want to ever just copy someone's product. I don't want to just release my own version of what's on the market just to say I did. So I thought about this one for a little while, and I finally came up with a little bit of a twist to make our dogs different than any of the options out there in the market. And I think you're really going to like them. So let me show you here over on the computer what we're doing. Today I'm here in Autodesk Fusion 360. It's the CAD software that we use to design our products, and I have a couple new versions of a bench dog drawn up. We're going to call these stowaway dogs, and what they are is a standard 20mm bench dog designed to fit the holes on your MFT table, and then they have a slightly larger surface for referencing and squaring up your material with the table, and then right here we've added a small flange designed to fit into the T-slots on the side of the table. And this will give you an option for stowing your dogs when you're not using them. One of the problems I've found is that when I'm using my MFT table and I have some bench dogs in there or some clamp dogs on there, when I'm done with using those and want to clear the table off to do some other work on there, I'll often pick those up, put them in my pocket, and then sometimes I forget they're there and they'll make their way home with me, and then next day at the shop I'm looking for my bench dogs again. So we're hoping this T feature here might make it a little bit easier to store the dogs on the side of the table and just make it a little more convenient so you're not hunting for your dogs the next day. So this version here, we've added a threaded hole to give you some options for clamping and some other possibilities that can be used for. Then the T-slot to mount it to the side of the table. And then the rest is a pretty basic 20mm dog design. And we made another variation that's a little more showy over here. It's a little bit of a shorter profile. The part that sticks up above the table is the same height, but then the overall height of it is slightly shorter, again with the T-flange here that'll let you store it in the side of the MFT table. And then on top we've engraved our Seneca Woodworking logo just to give it a little more flair and be a little bit different from what's out there. Now that we have the product designed in our CAD software, we're going to take those digital files, send them over to our 3D printer, and get some actual physical parts that we can play with. We're going to take those parts over to our MFT table and test fit them and see if the design works like we think it will. And if that goes okay, we're going to take them over to our CNC machine and machine a final version so we can actually have a real product to test and then eventually make and sell. So I appreciate you guys watching today. Make sure you leave your comments down below if you have any feedback or suggested changes. I really want to get everybody that's watching involved in the product development process because that helps us do better work and create better products for you guys. And then if you're not following us already, be sure to subscribe and stay tuned for part 2 of this update. Thanks for watching.